A little birdie told me that a certain German manufacturer could be joining F1. But who is it? When will they be joining? Would they be a manufacturer or customer team? Why do they want to join? What would their livery look like? And what could this mean for the sport? Well, let's talk about that now. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be talking about Porsche. They are rumoured to be considering entering Formula 1 if the next engine regulations due to be introduced in 2025 promote sustainable fuels. So what you need to take away from that is that Porsche are considering joining Formula 1 in 2025. But this isn't the first time they've been rumoured to be joining the sport. This is a magazine from 2017 talking about their potential return. And they were rumoured to be joining F1 this year, 2021, and had actually built and developed a full engine and was in the process of testing it. And then the rules got pushed back, and so did Porsche's plans to return to the grid. But why would they want to join? Well, as some of you might know, Porsche was predominantly investing in its LMP1 team for the World Endurance Championship. That's the team that Nico Hülkenberg won the 24 Hours of Le Mans with in 2015. They pulled out of this class at the end of 2017, leaving Toyota to be the only manufacturer in LMP1. So literally for the past few years, there's been like 3 Toyota LMP1 cars and they've just been competing against themselves. It must be the most boring thing to just have like the dominant car competing against itself. Although if we did that with Mercedes and F1, just had 20 Mercedes F1 cars, that might be quite good actually. I'll have to do some more research into that. Porsche did this to allow them to focus on their entry into Formula E in 2019.
Actually, Miss Sprinkle.
Contact, but everybody just about gets through. So that's 5th place now for the Purple Envision Virgin Racing car.
Anyway, the sports car manufacturer is now looking to join the premier class of motorsport. But this made me wonder, have they ever been in F1 before? Well, yes, actually. They had been supplying engines for F2 in the 50s and 60s, but made the jump to F1 with success coming in the 70s with the turbocharged era of Formula 1. They left and then they returned again in the 80s to start supplying McLaren in the V6 era with the engine badged as a tag Porsche for the MP42. Their engines were the ones to have in 1984, and they won 2 consecutive Constructors' Championships in the 84 and 85 seasons. They did return again in 1991, but had a disaster of a time with Footwork, who only used their engines for 6 races before being sacked and replaced with Cosworth, whose engines were the ones to have at the time. So, they've had some successes, but they've also had some not so successful seasons as well. That's pretty much every team and engine supplier. Okay, so what could their livery look like? Well, on screen you should see some designs and liveries that people have come up with as inspiration for what the Porsche could potentially look like if it did join F1. My personal favourite is this black nosed and black front wing kind of livery. I think that looks really cool. It incorporates the black and the red quite nicely, along with subtle hints of grey plus white. I sound like an artist. I'm not an artist. Why am I talking weird? There's also the 2018 kind of inspired livery. You can tell that it's a 2018 car because it looks like a 2017 car, but it's got a halo on it. And I'm not particularly a fan of this. I'm not a fan of the nose that it's got either. I guess it was taking inspiration off of the AlphaTauri or something. But that it's just potential livery designs, and you can see that there's very much a running theme with Porsche, and that's the black, red, grey and white livery design. I would also like to see the pink pig Porsche livery that is on lots of their cars. I think it would be quite sick. They've used it in a lot of their prototype cars in the past, and they used it in some of their GT cars as well. I think it would be quite cool if they maybe used that for like a home Grand Prix race, maybe in Germany, or maybe for a testing livery as well. I think that'd be pretty cool. Okay, so how would Porsche joining F1 affect the sport? Well, one, it adds another works manufacturer to the sport, which means more engines and the potential for more customer teams to enter into F1. And I think it'd be cool to have 2 or 3 more teams on the grid. I think F1 needs that. They've had huge success with LMP1 hybrid engines, and Porsche is very much a racing team and a racing brand, much like Aston Martin and Ferrari. And their experience with hybrid engines, and they had a lot of success with their hybrid engines, means that it could lead to quick success in Formula One. They've got that technology and they've got the right mindset to be successful in Formula One. And on top of this, it gives more drivers the opportunity to race in F1, meaning talent has a better chance of making it. Over the past few years, we've seen teams favouring pay drivers or drivers with big money sponsors, and they've been kind of pushing aside talent who maybe doesn't have as much of a sponsorship alongside them. And I can understand it over the next few years recovering from COVID, but they do need to start filtering out these drivers in favour of better drivers so that they can be maximising their race results. So, Porsche in F1. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Porsche potentially joining F1 from 2025. Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? Do you think that 2 German manufacturers won't work in Formula One? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Comments below. Come on, get involved. But that's it for today's video, guys. Just want to say thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Before we end the video, I do want to say though, now that the season is getting underway, I am going to be streaming the rundown. I don't know if you've ever watched some of my rundown videos in the past where I kind of go through the key points from practice, qualifying, and the race. But I'm going to be streaming that. We can have discussions. I'm going to ask you guys questions. And we can just have a general chat about the race weekend and just kind of build some kind of community discussing the race weekend. So if you want to join that, Sundays at 7 p.m. is what it should usually be. Follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm going to be letting you know what time I'm officially going to be going live on the Sundays. So yeah, all the links for that are below. But thank you very much for watching. I've said it again and I'll say it now. I really do appreciate it. And that's it for today's video. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.